Simply get comfortable. Closing your eyes if that is agreeable. Allowing your body to be supported in the chair, the furniture that you are resting in. Knowing that you are perfectly supported. Simply breathe. And during this time of stillness, anytime that your thoughts wander, thank them, let them go, and then simply come back to your breath, noting that act of breathing is the activity of God, Spirit, the universe, in your form. So allowing your shoulders to drop away from your neck, letting your arms rest comfortably. Scan your body to see if there is any place where there is a tension or not, and letting it go. Breathing in, knowing that breath is nourishment. Breathing in, knowing that act of breath is Spirit saying yes to you in this human form. invite you to slowly and gently, with great love, bring your awareness back into this space, this now moment. When you are ready, open your eyes, and I invite you to be awake, Ahava. Be awake. Namaste.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you.
I recognize the God in you.
I feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too.
I love you and I love you too.
I feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. Every walk of life.
Every walk of life.
Every creed and color.
Every creed and color.
Kinship we unite.
In kinship we unite.
In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
I feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love.
Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody make a joyful noise, yeah. You know how to make a joyful noise. Clap your hands and lift your voice. Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody lift your voice in song. Everybody lift your voice in song. Come on, lift your voice in song. You can do it, sing along. Everybody lift your voice in song. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Come on, clap on 2 and 4. Make it louder, give it more. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Living big for God's the way to go. Living big for God's the way to go. Living big the way to go. Give it up, just let it flow. Living big for God's the way to go. We intend to make a joyful noise. We intend to make a joyful noise. We intend to make a joyful noise. Clap your hands and lift your voice. We intend to make a joyful noise. We intend to make a joyful noise.
Welcome to Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love. And we gather together every Sunday knowing that love is
always the answer.
You got it. I am Reverend Rainbow, and along with Reverend Sunny, we are your co-spiritual directors, and we welcome you here this morning. Reverend Sunny is taking a Sunday off, but with me, I have the lovely practitioner Cynthia Chinquina, who's going to be hosting today. Yes.
Well, good morning, everyone. If you are joining us via live stream this morning, please say hello in the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. And while you're online, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media at ahavacsl.com. And if you are in the room, we encourage you to check your phones and share some pictures and share your inspiration that you get today with your family and friends. And share that on social media. Just reach out there. So let's get the message around the world, right?
Yes, we don't mind if you're on the phone as long as you're sharing Ahava, right? Or taking notes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
So we are a conscious community committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. Mm-hmm. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your path of spiritual discovery, you are welcome here.
Yes.
So I invite you to take a moment to turn to someone with your hands over your heart and let them know and tell them, thank you for being a reflection of me. Thank you for being a reflection of me.
Yes. Yes. And we have a wonderful vision and purpose here. And so I invite you now to affirm by repeating after me our vision. We are an inclusive community.
We are an inclusive community.
Committed to global transformation. Through personal evolution.
Through personal evolution.
And our purpose, let's do it together. Wake up, step up, and make a difference. That's right. And today's affirmation, if you want to repeat after me as well, I lay all burdens.
I lay all burdens
on the altar of divine love.
On the altar of divine love.
Yes.
And if you are a guest joining us for the first time today, we especially welcome you today. So please know that your presence makes a difference. And if you would like to, we would like to share some love with you. If you would like to raise your hand or stand, just let us know that you are with us for the first time, and we have a very special gift for you.
Anyone here for the first time? We have great, welcome. So Lois, one of our core council members, has a gift for you. Thank you.
And we are grateful for the many people who give of their time, talent, and treasure each week. Mm-hmm. So I would like to thank all of the volunteers that we have here for their service, to create our sacred place together. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for a way to get more involved, we are looking for some folks to join our youth ministry and our greeter team. So see Reverend Rainbow, if you would like to volunteer on either of those teams, we would love to have you.
Yes, it's a great way of getting connected, getting to know more folks, especially, on that greeter team, coming in early, getting to say hi to everyone. So we couldn't do this without all of our volunteers. So thank you, thank you. We have some wonderful things coming up. First off, just so you know, our Wednesday night meditation and metaphysical discussion is continuing on Zoom every Wednesday night. There are a few dates coming up around the holidays that we won't be meeting, but there is meditation this Wednesday night. Also, our Mini Paths, honoring the Mini Paths candle lighting service is coming up, and it's actually going to be Tuesday on the solstice, December 21st. It's a beautiful service. If you haven't participated in that in the past, there's ritual, there's candle lighting, there's music, there's reading, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to really reflect on the year and come together in celebration and ritual. So make sure you invite a friend, write that on your calendar, save the date, Tuesday, December 21st. It's going to be here before you know it, trust me. Also, we have our annual meeting. That is on January 9th. Go ahead and save that date as well. It's going to be Sunday after service, and that's a wonderful time to look at kind of where we've been, where we're going, take a look at our finances, the nitty-gritty of what it takes to keep this community going, as well as we're going to be electing some new core council members. So it's a very important meeting. We'd love you all to be here, so plan to stay for that. Today is the first Sunday of the month, which means there is a Zoom social for those of you who are online, or if you want to run home and jump online and join that. It is happening directly following service as well on Zoom. But there will be no Zoom social the first Sunday in January, because that is January 2nd, and January 2nd is our Burning Bowl service, following by a visioning and vision board workshop. Lots of fun stuff coming up. I have a few more things, 2 new things coming up, which is we have a prosperity study group that's going to be starting in January as well. It's actually kind of a continuation. So in October, we did a book study online from the books, The Money Keys, and people loved it so much they said, let's continue it. So Karen Riggins, who facilitated that, said she would happily continue the book study throughout all of next year, meeting once a month on the first Monday evening. So you did not have to be in the original book study to join. You can still join now. More details will be coming out about that. I need to take a breath. There's so much going on, y'all. All right, one last thing. I want to make sure you hear me on this one. We have a brand new foundational class coming up. So it is brand new curriculum. It's fabulous. Many of you may have taken the original Foundations class years ago. It's about a 10-week class. Well, now it's been adapted, and it's a 6-week class, and we're going to be offering it online, and it's all new content, new reading, new material, but the same spiritual practices and principles presented to you in a way that can really help you make a shift in your life. So this class is called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. Reverend Sunny and I will be co-teaching that, and it starts January 6th. So that's also going to be here before you know it. So don't forget to go ahead and go online and register for that class coming up. It's going to be online as well. I think that's it, but just, check out the e-newsletter with all the details, and our social media, our website, for all the details on those fabulous ways of getting connected here at Ahava. Cynthia. I'm done.
I'd love to acknowledge our wonderful Ahava band, yes?
Yes.
We have our music director, Joe Tinquina, on bass, Lauren Deckenberg on keys and also doing our reading today, John Dittert on drums, and our vocalist today is Justin Norris.
Woo!
And on sound, we have Jeff Watts. That's making us all sound good. Thank you, Jeff. So let's take this moment to just go within. Open your hearts as we moved into our centering song and prayer. As our practitioner, Connie Moore, does our morning invitation.
Loving the Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I
Spirit does indeed dwell as me. As I breathe into the fullness of that one divine life living me, living all of creation, I know that divinity, that life, that perfection is right here, right now, in this space, living each of us. That perfection escapes the bounds of this building and lives everywhere. So it is from that place of fullness, that place of knowingness, that I bless this thing called the Ahava this morning, this thing that is love. I bless each of the souls that sit here in this room, bring their energy into this space. I bless Reverend Rainbow, knowing that she will speak the word that Spirit is calling her to speak this morning, the words that we are meant to hear. I bless Cynthia as she follows, as she leads us, and we follow her through this service. I bless Reverend Sunny as she practices good self-care today, taking care of herself. I bless the hands and hearts of all the volunteers who make this thing happen, the musicians who share their talents, all the energy that goes into making Ahava right here, right now. I simply let it be by saying, and so it is.
Loving the Spirit dwells through me. This is my divinity. As within, so without, all I need is here and now. Where there's there, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving the Spirit dwells as me, now and evermore.
Today's reading is a poem entitled Surrender by Woods Wanderer. Surrender. Surrender to flow. Surrender to emotion, fluid in my veins. Surrender to breath caught between the shards of my rib cage. Surrender to the ink lines left dark on sun-kissed skin, peeling with layers of memories. Surrender to love, the wind teasing at strands of garlands strung through Mother Nature's hair, flowing. Surrender, body to stream, floating in silken arms, folding my aching soul into insatiable depth. Surrender to the shadows nipping at my consciousness, ruling my inner mind and dampening my heart. Heart beating strong, insistent, true. Surrender past flames of heat, burning to ash my hatred, my fear, my shame. Surrender to the infinite love, released from white-hot coals. Surrender.
What am I to do? What am I to feel? I am but a child, and you are with me still. What am I to do? What am I to feel? Oh, I am but a child, and you are with me still. Listening in the silence, even in the sadness, everywhere you are. Oh, everywhere you are. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be. Do what I came to do. Oh, what I came to see. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be. What I came to feel. Oh, what I came to see. Into the heart of God. Oh, let my soul surrender. Let my soul surrender into the heart of God. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be. More.
Yes. So beautiful. Thank you, Justin, and the band for just setting that tone. So amazing. So, any ideas what our topic could be today? Surrender, yes. So, happy December, everyone. And we are bringing to close this year-long theme that we have had in 2021, this overarching theme called Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. So the specific theme for December is Journey of Becoming. And today's topic, Surrender is Action. So the year's journey is nearing the end, but what we know is that it is simply the beginning of the next cycle and the next year. Often around this time of year, it's an opportunity to move into that quiet place, the stillness, the opportunity that the winter solstice brings as we pause for a few days between the dwindling light and then the lengthening of the days. This is a time to sit and be with ourselves right where we are, listening to that still small voice as it speaks, giving ourselves over to the mystery of life. And so that brings us today to this topic, surrender is action. So often when we think of surrender, it can bring to mind images such as waving the white flag, of giving up, of exhaustion or defeat. Yet the actual definition is to cease resistance. Just take a breath with that. To cease resistance. In other words, surrender simply means acceptance. It means letting go of trying to change, to control, to predict, or force anything by being in resistance to what is. So what does this look like in our own lives? Accepting what is occurring in each moment and allowing ourselves to be fully present by feeling the feelings that we have about the current circumstances. And it can seem like a paradox because in this, spiritual growth, personal growth, development world that we are in, if you are seeking transformation and change, it can be easy to jump right to the shift that we want to see without staying in the moment first of being present, getting truly sober to what is occurring right now. And that is the moment of surrender, of accepting what is happening right here and not trying to force or control. And then from there is the opportunity to shift, to move forward, and not making any kind of rash decision from this panic state of overwhelm of what is occurring or this fear. It requires being aware and being aware of our awareness, being aware of our relationship to what is occurring in the present moment. So surrender is active because it requires a conscious choice to move from trying to control the circumstances in our life to relaxing into divine order. We must choose to surrender. And experiencing a deep surrender means letting go of all sense of separation. Letting go of this me, mine, us, them, right, wrong, good, bad mentality. And entering into a state of conscious union with the One. Accepting what is occurring in our lives and knowing that we live in a friendly universe that always has our back and is always guiding us and leading us on our path through our own insight and intuition. But this doesn't mean we don't take responsibility. We take responsibility for what we can do and to recognize what we can't do or what we can't change, right? So surrender means accepting what we can change and what we can't, and having the wisdom to know the difference. When we surrender to the presence and the power of the divine love within, new possibilities emerge. When we listen for and surrender to that inner guidance, we receive exactly what we need, following along this path that we are guiding to with faith instead of questioning or resisting what is. This leads us to take more powerful and inspired action. And this inspired action creates an impact beyond ourselves, beyond our own lives. It creates an impact that is like a ripple effect in the world, expanding out. So as we do this work for ourselves, we are actually doing it on behalf of the entire collective. We get to serve humanity and the greater evolution of consciousness and the greater good, because the inner and the outer are one. There is only one thing happening here. So as we do our work to get present, to get aware, to surrender, to allow, and to listen for that divine guidance and inspiration in our life, that creates this ripple effect of transformation on the entire collective consciousness. So tomorrow is the last day of Hanukkah. And the story of Hanukkah is a great example of surrender, faith, and trust. As the Jewish people were rebuilding their temple, it appeared they only had oil for one night. They accepted this and lit the lamp anyway. And miraculously, the oil lasted for 8 days. As you know, yes. So rather than trying to control the situation, they let go into the reality of the situation, accepted it, took that step anyway to light that candle in that moment because that's what was needed, and miraculously they found they had all that they needed. So this leads us to ask, where in your life do you feel that you might be holding the reins a little too tightly? Where in your life could you benefit from allowing a little more grace, a little more faith, and a little more surrender? Where do you feel that you must take control to make things happen as opposed to allowing yourself to be guided and allowing that invisible presence within, that is the infinite source of all life, to lead and to guide you? This involves faith and trust by working in this invisible realm, this mystery of life that we can't see, but we know is there. We can feel its presence. We can see it in the eyes of each beloved in this room. So as we work in this realm of the invisible, then we can allow form to manifest perfectly through divine order and divine right action. So here's a hint. Let's make it real practical here. If you're not exactly sure where this area is in your life, think about perhaps something that you find yourself often complaining about, or some area in your life where you are experiencing discontent or suffering in some form on a regular basis. This may be the place to invite in that grace, to surrender, to lay those burdens down on the altar of divine love and allow a new possibility to be awakened within you. So for me, this area of control versus surrender comes up mostly in my personal relationships. Anyone else relate? I would love to think that I could control people's actions and reactions. I would love to think that I could control what people think about me. But logically, I know this is impossible. Similarly, I would love to be able to control things like the weather and the traffic. flights leaving on time, not getting sick. I would love to even be able to control how many people are in this room, but I can't. Anyone else relate? So by accepting what is and accepting the things that I can't change or control, I experience a lot more freedom and a lot more peace. Instead of trying to make something happen, to force a certain outcome, I get to simply be with what is and not being attached to what the outcome looks like, or thinking that I know what is right, or thinking that if only this were to change in my life, all would be well. Being in a place of surrender and trust allows this creative energy to inform me. And it creates a lot more peace when I surrender, when I accept, and when I stop resisting or trying to force certain outcomes in my life. Yet, why is control such a common human trait? You know, we seek comfort. You know, we seek stability. We seek safety. And that's okay. Being in the know, we want to know. We don't like mystery. We don't like the unknown. And that is okay. It is human nature. Yet, what if we were to embrace a greater awareness of life? Because when we try to control things, when we are afraid of what might happen, or we get too attached to a certain outcome, these are all ways that we are allowing fear to run our lives, that we are allowing fear to be that guiding force in our lives as opposed to love. And it's easy to believe that we know what's best. But this doesn't allow space for this field of pure potentiality to be experienced. If we already think we know what's best and what's right, and we just have to do this, that, and the other, we are not allowing that space for grace. So when we think about this idea of personal control, we ask, what do we really have control over anyways? And why do we fear letting go of control? You may have heard this, an acronym for ego, edging God out, right? So when you think that you know best or you have all the answers, you're trying to force things to happen, you may actually be edging God, or life, spirit, universe, whatever works for you. You may actually be edging God out of the experience in that moment. Think about the effects on ourselves when we try to control someone or something. Do you really feel at peace? And is that experience temporary or everlasting? What would it look like to experience a different type of peace, one of complete surrender and trust, letting go and allowing spirit in more deeply? When we become still and listen long enough, we will hear that guidance of our heart. Are you willing to be still long enough to wait? To move away from just the surface conditions of our life and invite in a greater awareness. And this requires that we enter into beginner's mind, being willing to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers. We don't know everything there is to know. There's a whole world of things we don't know, and then there's a whole world of things we don't even know that we don't know. So are you willing to be in that place of the beginner's mind and allow something new to emerge? One of the most beneficial practices for this is meditation. taking that time to be still, to listen, to quiet the mind, slow down, and just listen for that voice of truth within that is always there, ready to lead and to guide. And then when we enter into this practice of meditation as a way of being, as a way of turning within and listening throughout our days, we then become inspired to take certain action from the very essence of truth of who we are, as opposed to our ego, our small selves, or our limited mind that thinks it knows what's best. In this way, our actions fuel us instead of depleting us. Can you think of an example in your life where you really wanted something and you worked hard and you made it happen? But how did your energy feel, as opposed to a time where you had a desire, you turned it over, you just knew it would be without any resistance, and it showed up? How did your energy feel then? You know, we all have these examples of kind of forcing and making things happen. We can work with this creative law to manifest. And when we get out of our own way and listen to Spirit, things flow with so much more ease and grace. So, let us let go of trying to control what we can't control. And this doesn't mean that we are complicit or that we never, seek change. This is where that kind of paradox of surrender comes in, because it doesn't just mean not doing anything. It is active, it is action, because it requires the choice to surrender. And acceptance doesn't mean that we have to like our current situation. We're not like accepting it and that we're just going to always be in this situation of whatever it may be, lack, fear, doubt, limitation, suffering. But we do have to acknowledge what is occurring, take responsibility, and then do our best at what we can do and listen to that inner guidance and making choices from that place, allowing love to be the guiding force. When we live from faith and surrender to our own divinity, our essential nature, we can move into action from this place of trust, following our inner guidance and allowing love to be the guide. And what this feels like is being in the flow, being in that flow of source energy. We've all had those moments or those days when you're just like, I'm in the flow. This shows up, the lights are all green. You run into somebody, they give you something or a compliment, or you're like, hey, something you've been working on or waiting to hear an answer from, all of a sudden shows up. Those are the states of flow. That is our natural way of being when we stop resisting, trying to control, or trying to make things happen in our lives. So Dr. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook says, love alone can overcome fear because love surrenders itself to the object of its adoration. The soul must make a complete surrender of itself to Spirit. The soul must make a complete surrender to itself, of itself to Spirit. So, how do we surrender? It's an ongoing process, and it's an ongoing practice. But like anything else, the more we practice and the more we begin to build our muscle in that particular strength or that area, then this idea of surrender becomes our default way of being. We go right to acceptance instead of resistance. Just like lifting we start with a 5-pound weight and we keep practicing so that once we get to the 50-pound weight, it feels just as easy as when we first picked up that 5-pound weight. Through practice. Through conscious practice and communion with the divine within. Through meditation. And not just when we're sitting in the stillness. That is a very important part of our practice, is to have those moments of conscious meditation and stillness. But I would like to invite you to consider how to integrate meditation and surrender into your daily activities. So what would this look like? Take, for example, when you go to, check your bank account, balance your checkbook, however you do that, and you are face-to-face with facts, the facts of your financial situation. In that moment, what you can do is you can show up completely in that place of faith and trust and surrender so that you're not resisting what you see, you're not trying to change or control it, but instead you approach it from this place of spiritual principle. And if it's something that you see that you do not desire, you may ask, what is this wanting to tell me? What is there for me to know in this? What is seeking to be emerged? What is seeking for me to know? And then from that place, we can look at the facts, accept the facts, but still be open to the guidance of what's next, of what now. We can come face to face with whatever we bump up against throughout our day, whether it be a relationship, coworkers, family, whatever it is, be able to just breathe, to pause, to know something greater is seeking to be immersed in that moment, to accept whatever is perhaps coming at you instead of resisting it with curiosity, with wonder, with asking again from a place of acceptance, what is there for me to know in this moment, in this situation? Listening for that inner guidance that is always there. So surrender is action because it requires making the choice to surrender. And it requires practicing. Surrender isn't just walking through the world kind of willy-nilly, like whatever happens, la, 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 right? That's kind of the opposite end. People often tend to either kind of try to control the circumstances or just trying to like, oh, it doesn't matter, whatever, it's just la, 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 right? So how can we kind of find that middle path of accepting what is, yet still having that evolutionary vision of the trajectory of life that we desire for ourselves in the world? So it's acceptance, but it's not being complicit. Instead of trying to control or make something happen based on what we think it should be, surrender looks like asking, what is seeking to be revealed here? What is seeking to be revealed here? A new way of being, a new way of doing that allows you to experience that sense of flow and that effortless ease. So I want to end with sharing two little physical kind of embodiment practices that will help you integrate your body, your mind, and spirit to allow you to experience this state of surrender and relaxation in these kind of micro moments throughout our day. So the first one is simply starting with a deep breath. And then stretching your arms out wide, your head back, your heart open. And in the silence, just breathe until you feel that shift in your body. I had the opportunity to do this on Friday. I posted in our Facebook group, there's a new labyrinth that opened up at Wellington Park. And so I was there, and a few of you were there as well. And the sun was shining right on the labyrinth. It was a beautiful day. So it was like right when you got to the center, and I just kind of stood there like this, letting in the energy of the sun and the light and just feeling that total release and surrender. So if you find yourself throughout your day getting in that place, and your body tells you, right? You kind of your jaw gets tense. Listen to your body. It's that guidance system for you. You find yourself kind of getting like this, just pause, stand, and just, stretch. Open your heart and breathe until you feel that shift. Another practice you may be familiar with from yoga is the child's pose. So this one involves, kind of on the ground with your head down, your heart on the ground and your hands either out in front of you like this, or you can put them to your side here like this. And you are folded over completely in a position of relaxation, of surrender, of rest. So again, throughout your day, when you notice yourself getting constricted, try this pose or try child's pose. Just breathe. It doesn't have to be a 30-minute meditation practice. It can be that 1 minute, that 10 seconds, that 30 seconds to this shift and to come back to that place of stillness. Get back in alignment, listening to that inner guidance that is always there. So the invitation this week is to move consciously into a state of everyday surrender, listening for that inner guidance and allowing love to be the guiding force in your life. Try those physical poses to integrate this, body, mind, spirit. And remember, no matter how chaotic the world may appear around you, there is a place within that is an infinite reservoir of energy, of power, of peace, and potentiality that is always available when we lean into that instead of relying on our limited perspective or our ego's desire to control. We can open to greater and greater possibilities for our lives. Yes? So let's take a deep breath and take this into prayer. How good it is to let go in this moment. To surrender what I think I know, what I think I want, and just let go. Stepping fully into the power and potential of this eternal now moment. This eternal now moment that is beyond space and time. That is the essence of who we are. This place of oneness, of pure potentiality. Knowing and recognizing that there is only one life, and this life is creativity, freedom, peace, love, abundance, all that there is. And this all is who I am. So I know that I am love. I am peace. I am all. I am that I am. And it is from this place of awareness of the oneness of all life that I speak this word, knowing and declaring peace is possible now. Knowing and declaring that I move from this place and state of grace in all of my affairs, accepting what is, and allowing that divine guidance to move through me, always nudging me to what is seeking to be known. I lie open in a place and state of deep surrender, laying all my burdens down on that altar of love and asking, what now? What is for me to know now? What is seeking to emerge in, as, and through me? And simply listening, awake and aware, always listening to that guidance. And affirming something within me knows. I affirm peace. I affirm love. I know that this one life is having its way in, as, and through me in all areas of my life. And I surrender by fully accepting this truth. Knowing that as I move throughout my day and my week, that I remain steadfast in this awareness and this practice of mindfulness and meditation and this practice of surrender, for it feels so good to let love have its way as me. So I'm so grateful to know that all is truly well, that I am always led and guided. So grateful to simply surrender and let it be. As I release this word now into the action of the law that always says yes, 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 my beloved, it is done. It is so, and so it is. Now, before you sit down, turn to someone and say, "What now?"
What now?
The offering.
The offering. So what now? We are going to move into our time of conscious giving. So knowing that as we give, we also receive. So we are going to pass the basket here in the physical room. And if you are online, there are several ways that you can give virtually as well. You can go to our website and click the Give button, or you can text the word GIVE to 859-209-6996, or you can mail in your gifts, your tithes, your offerings to Ahava Center for Spiritual Living at 168 Burt Road, Lexington, Kentucky, 40503. So I invite you to place your tithes, your gifts, your offerings over your heart and give it your own personal blessing as you repeat after me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava, knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
So grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the grace of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you feel discouraged, try to make it through another day. You've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. In my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. In my faith I see the light. I am one with the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Love you, you're a shining star, wonderful, just the way you are. We celebrate your sacred space. We love you just the way you are. We love you just the way you are.
Look at our wonderful children this morning. Who would like to tell us what you learned today? Let's start over here, and then we'll come down.
We made ornaments.
Made ornaments? Wonderful. Libby, can you tell us your affirmation?
I let go of what I cannot change.
Oh, I let go of what I cannot change. Beautiful. Thank you. And everyone show your ornaments? Nice. We love our children. Thank you. Uh-huh. Oh, we love our children. So just remember that practitioners are available to pray. You can submit your requests online, or you can also put your request in the little box before you go out the door there in the community room. And be sure to mark your calendars for our candle lighting service on Tuesday, December 21st, and the burning bowl ceremony on January 2nd. These are celebrations that you do not want to miss. They're absolutely wonderful. So if you would like to stand up, and we will do our benediction together. If you would repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my surrender.
Life is in my surrender.
And life is in my affairs.
And life is in my affairs.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I share it.
And I share it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
And just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
We want to thank everybody for coming today. We hope you have a great week. And remember, open your arms wide, take a deep breath, and surrender. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy